Sunday Symposium, We're Still Here, presented by Native Roots Radio Network. This is a native conversation of where we've been and where we're going. Ahu, Ho-Chunk Raja, Wakunjahade, Hingadena. Welcome to month 9 of the Sunday Night Symposium. I'm so happy to have everybody here listening, but also all our beautiful people all over Turtle Island here that are politically involved and ran this week. This has been a decompression and gratitude show, and I'm so happy to see everybody here. This show is brought to you by Native Roots Radio Network, and this is the symposium that we do every Sunday, and we're so happy to see everybody. What I would like to do is right now throw it out to Mary Kunish, who won state senator, and we are so happy to have you on, Mary, and welcome, and thank you so much for being on almost every show.
Thanks, Robert. Aho, everybody. It's State Representative Mary Kunish. And now I can actually officially say I am Senate-elect Kunish. The first time somebody sent that to me in writing, I just had such a moment of incredible, unbelievable pride in seeing that, and both my parents are deceased. I really wish they were here to see this. I think they'd be really proud, but I know that my family and my friends, my district, and all of those that worked on my campaign are really happy with the outcome. I represent District 41, or I will in the Senate, but right now I represent District 41B. And our District 41 is St. Anthony Village, New Brighton, Columbia Heights, Hilltop, Fridley, and a little bit of Spring Lake Park. So we're real excited. I was able to win with about 67%, and that pleased me very, very, very much. And so I look forward to going to the Senate, come up in January, and join some new folks that are going to be there with us and get some work done, try to see what we can do. Right now, at the end of this election, the Minnesota House still has a majority. So it's a Democrat majority in the House, but it is a Republican just by one in the Senate. And so we still have that split legislature and with a Democratic DFL governor. So hopefully over the next 2 years, we will get some good work done between the House and the Senate and the governor. And I say 2 years because this is a 2-year election cycle for the Senate as well as the House. The House always has to get elected every 2 years. Usually every 4 years, the senators have to go up for election. But because this comes after the census, every 10 years we have a census in the nation, and I hope all of you got counted there too. And then what they do is they look at the population across each state and see where the population has shifted, and then they redraw the lines for our Senate districts. And that means in 2 years, again, I will have to run for re-election rather than the typical 4. And we don't know what those districts will look like. We know that the urban and the metro areas have those high, dense populations, and that's what carried the state for Biden. And it could be that things are changing as people move out into the greater Minnesota, but then also coming back into the urban core. So 2 years from now, I'll be running again. I hope I have all your support once again, and very, very excited to get back in there and work on some of the things I have been working on, and then maybe even find some new good projects to work on. But one of the reasons I'm really super excited about this session coming up in January is that we have another American Indian legislator here in Minnesota. This past election, Heather Keeler was elected, and so without telling you too much about it, I'm going to turn it over to Heather, and Heather can introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her election night. And then maybe if she has any ideas what she might want to still work with us on. So Heather Keeler, Representative-elect.
It's so crazy. Thanks, Mary. I kind of like you when people start texting me, like, congratulations, Representative-elect Keeler. It's just so surreal to me. I feel like even though we've already had like caucus meetings and we've chosen our majority House leader and our speaker and stuff, it's just so crazy to me that we've gotten here. But I have to say, like, I definitely did not do this alone. You know, not only in my own community, but across the nation with tribal communities reaching out with support, being able to spend this time here with all of you on a fairly regular basis is just very encouraging and uplifting. And so I guess for me right now, I'm kind of coming down from the campaign and election high and kind of getting right into work and some of the things that I really want to do. In the House, we did hold on to the majority, but we did lose some seats, so it's a closer House. And then, you know, we're sad that the Senate didn't flip. I've seen some amazing campaigns out there and was really rooting for a lot of people. Alan, I see you on here. You know, I just had so much respect for the way that you were just so genuine in your campaign. And I hope that that doesn't mean that you're going to stop. I think that this is always just the momentum moving forward. But yeah, I mean, I'm here. I've been so appreciative of all the work that Robert's been doing and using this platform and getting the word out. And I don't know, I guess who else is all getting on here, but Audrey, I see you. You know, you were one of the very first people that when I got on, for the very first time you were speaking, and I was like, wow, like I just want to have that energy and share that calm with our community. You know, like this year has been really, really crazy. I think we can all agree that 2020 in some capacity has rocked us or shook us, or we've really learned a lot about ourselves. But Audrey just really carried herself with so much grace and calm through all of this. And I say, like, that's what this space has done for me. It's allowed me in the craziness of all the campaigning to kind of really bring it back together and stay humble and stay focused in who I really am and grounded. So I appreciate all of you. And I look forward to doing a lot of things. I did talking circles in my community, and I talked a lot to teachers because education is something that I've always worked in and I'm really passionate about. And so I'm hoping that we can do some work around education, but you know, personally for me, because I passed Indigenous Peoples Day in my community, and that was kind of the launch into creating change, I would really love to see more Minnesota recognize Indigenous Peoples Day as a state holiday rather than just proclamation. So if there's something that's on my to-do list from an Indigenous lens, I really think that's it. And I hope that, you know, if we can do it on our end, Mary can help carry it on her end, and then we can get it through and really start celebrating and respecting the land in which we're on. So Pilame always, I'll give it back to you, Robert.
Robert, can I butt in for a minute? Heather, I did carry it. So we've got it ready to go. You just sign your name on there and we will drop it the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's awesome. So, you know, this show started out with people all over Turtle Island, and it's kind of centralized, and we go back and forth because of people's capacity. But we are so happy to have Amber Torres on tonight, and she can give us a little rundown of what's happening down in her neck of the woods. Mm-hmm. And we're really excited to have Amber on again. And I would love, Amber, if you could introduce yourselves and give us an update of what's going on with your nation, chairperson, and really great to see you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hauma minania na agarikara poinabi na agaigwe. Good evening, everyone. My name is Amber Torres. I'm the chairman for the Walker River Paiute tribe here in Schurz, Nevada. As you know, we just had a huge victory. Go Biden-Harris. But it's been, you know, getting out the native vote here has been phenomenal. And I feel so much hope, peace, calmness, with everything going on. But also just here on our own reservation, we're getting ready for tribal elections that are coming up here. Also, we know that work does not stop. We currently have 13 COVID cases on our reservation, and trying to man that with little manpower, has been very, very challenging. But again, still trying to create Halloween for the children, thinking about Christmas coming up, and just still trying to create a sense of community. We have taken away a few of our restrictions that we had from the very beginning with COVID. Our reservation is now open to our tribal members because we know the holidays are coming up, and we want to see families reconnected and visit with their elder while taking safety precautions. We've offered testing to anybody coming in if they want to have that prior to seeing their loved ones. So just still continuing to do the good work and look out for the community and the people. So.
Yeah, it's amazing the vote that you got down there. And also we were talking, there was over 130 Native American candidates all over Turtle Island. And we have now 6 Native Americans or 5 Native Americans that have won the Senate. Is that correct?
To me, that's absolutely fantastic. I know here in Nevada, we had very little that were running for seats that are Native American. And that's why I'm so, proud to sit amongst you guys, because, to hear the numbers that you guys have and hope that in the future we can really support and empower our own Native people to take those positions and run for those different roles. It's just exciting to see. It's very exciting to see our congressional leaders in our Senate and, everything flip and be Native American, and to ultimately have that seat at the table. So, just like I said, getting out the vote, spreading the word. Here specifically in Nevada, we had 60,000 Native Americans that we were able to, educate and get out to the polls, but it was just exciting overall in Indian country how many Native Americans came out and made their voices heard for ultimately the future of their respective nations and all of America, and to have the actual acknowledgement from the candidates themselves, or the president and the vice president of the United States was absolutely huge. So again, just I'm excited to see what's to come for our future.
Yes, I agree 100%. I think Michigan had, I thought I saw somewhere where Michigan had 110,000 Native Americans register and vote for the first time, and they really put the numbers over there too. If you start looking at the numbers of the way they are, but yeah, we're so proud of all our brothers and sisters here. And Alan, I want to bring Alan on, and one of the things that we really, Alan came in a good way, and we really appreciate him coming on tonight. And we're just proud of you, and I'm glad you're here decompressing with us, Alan.
Well, thanks for having us on. I just want to say congratulations to all the candidates out there. Heather, you did a great job. Mary, Audrey, Dana, Liz, all of you, and the folks that are watching at home, you guys just did a fantastic job this round. I can tell you, I get real excited when I see Native folks run for public office, because it's public service, and it takes a special type of character and intestinal fortitude, as we say in the Army, to put your name out there and do the best you can in a good way. And to hear about the comments of all the Native Americans that are registering to vote, that are getting their name out there, that's so important. It's so important. And there are ups and downs to these things, right? So, like as Mary said, this is a redistricting year, so things are going to look a little bit different in a couple of years. So what that means is we need to stay focused. We need to continue to keep people engaged, because this cycle will repeat itself in the next couple of years. So I'm just really excited to be on here. I'm just very proud, especially my tribal members. I say our tribal members, I should say, from White Earth Nation. We got myself, Dana, and Audrey on here, and I'm just very proud of you gals for what you're doing and what you've done. So thank you so much, Robert.
Yeah, really. Thank you so much for coming on. I know it's not the easiest thing, but it's very important, because I feel like what Amber and Mary Kunish and Ruth Buffalo and all of us have created in this last 9 months is a circle for all of us to come to. And so I really appreciate that you're here tonight so we can support you. It's exciting.
Thank you so much, Robert.
I want to go next to, yeah, for sure. I want to go next to who wearing her shirt right now. I'm going to be switching shirts. You can see in the back here, I have all my different political shirts that I'll be talking about. But I'm wearing one right here, and I know this person really needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce her anyways. But wow, we are so happy, and you didn't win, you won, you win, then they found votes and win. And so I was on an emotional roller coaster, Audrey. So thank you so much for being on.
Oh, thank you. And yes, it was a roller coaster on Tuesday night. It was, I felt like I had let the people down in the first loss. And then I heard I had won at about midnight or 12:30. And then at 2 a.m, I heard I'd lost again. And then at that point, I was already on the phone with a lot of the other candidates who also had problems with the system. So apparently there was a disconnect from the county to the state in the information. But I want to thank everybody here that has ran. And Alan, thank you very much. So we also had another writer to that one when it was Rick Hagelin over in Cass County on the county board over there. And so you get kind of excited. I had identified Rick with Leech Lake, but of course I get identified with Leech Lake because I'm over there all the time. So, and then I heard rumors of Red Lake, but I'm really actually enrolled at White Earth. So lots of people to thank, of course. My heart is really close to the musicians, the rappers, and Corey Medina, those Keith Sokola, those guys that got on at the tail end to help me push it a little bit was awesome. I appreciated it. Winona LaDuke and Brenda Child and Steve Primo, the artist. There were some, individuals that have made it in the arts and music area that I really hold dear to me, because that is, a second passion of mine is in the arts. So I was very, very, I'm very humbled and grateful for the voters in Ward 1 that made a decision to trust me at 53%. I wanted a higher percentage, but I've already strategically been pulling apart where I didn't pull the votes that I should have. And I've already been out with the business people now, the small local businesses, meeting with them so that they can be assured and see trust. And prior to my election and my swearing in January, we get certified next Friday. So I'm actually now going to be forced to sit for another 13 days. Unfortunately, one of my family members became positive, and I was in the car with that family member. And so there's 2 of us, and there's actually about 15 of us that have to sit it out for 12 or 13 days here in quarantine, but that's okay. I have lots of thank yous to write, and my health feels real good. I'm running around doing my temperature thing. Today I was panicking a little bit, but that is what we're dealing with up here. Families left and right are falling to the pandemic, and it was just a matter of time. And it was a poor move for me to get in that car where the individual wasn't keeping the mask on, and we couldn't We just had a difficult, about an hour and a half in that vehicle. We don't know yet. I tested out on Friday. So we're not here to talk about the pandemic. We're here to talk about the wonderful people who won and the hard work it was. And no kidding. I mean, I'm looking back and yes, decompressing because no longer am I thinking numbers. No longer am I thinking names. I had big signs on my car. And so when I drove, I had to make full stops, so that people would say, oh, she doesn't drive well. So, it's going to be really nice not to have that on my car. And, it's going to be good. And I can walk the neighborhood freely now without having to worry, did I get a flyer on that house? So I thank everybody. Heather, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It just, we are in a time of change, and we know that. And I think that's what got me elected, was that I didn't talk about our same old, right? Middle class thinking, our taxes, our property taxes. Of course, I'm concerned about property tax, but I wanted to go to the angle of hearing from the people that needed to be heard from, and those were the unheard people in our communities. And I think that caught the eye, and people knowing me, knowing that I have walked this walk for so many years with sincerity and honesty, that and following our values. So I have endless people, and of course MN 350, Robert Pilot, all the organizers, activists, people. Those are important people. And to our election judges that were out there with the pandemic, and that was amazing. But the voters, most importantly. So that's good enough, isn't it, today?
Everybody wants a T-shirt too.
I know. And by the way, Wendy's going to get hers in 14 days because I can't leave this place. Oh no, 13 days. November 21st is our anniversary. We can run out and start shopping again. It's if I ordered my groceries online tonight, so they'll be here on Wednesday. It's good for me to be sitting. It's good. It's good. I'm high energy. So this is probably, yeah. It's probably
it's definitely good. Thank you so much for being on. Really,
sure.
Okay. Congratulations. I want to talk to Dana Thompson. We need you young warriors to keep on running. We really, the journey's the reward, and we're so happy you're here tonight. And you're always invited, and we are just happy you're here. And I hope you run again soon.
Yeah, Miigwech, it was a really hard loss this time, but I'm proud that my campaign did so well during a pandemic. I have no doubt in my mind that if we were able to get out and actually talk to more people, that we could have pulled off a win. We worked really hard. We did several community meet and greets. We did Zoom meet and greets, and we really focused on activating new voters and bringing in those who hadn't really paid attention to city council races. I met with a lot of people who vote, but they don't vote for city council. And so we really wanted to make them aware of how that role affects their lives and get them involved. And even though we lost, I still plan on going forward and working with the communities and trying to organize us and to show up at council meetings and just to make sure that our voices are still heard. The loss is a little bit easier with the Biden-Harris win. So now we have some allies and hopefully federal direction on how to just keep moving forward. And I'm also really excited to see all the Native voices who also won in their races to be working towards the same goals.
Well, we're really glad you're here, and we're glad that you are running and you've ran. And so we're really so happy that you're here. And again, we are so proud of you. Alan put that up there. We are so proud of you. Seriously. So thank you so much for coming on. What I'm going to do, Mary, is I'm going to disappear for a few minutes because then we can get Red Dawn on here. And then I'll hand it over to you. But right now, I want to congratulate Liz Welcome, Liz. Thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations.
Oh, Miigwech, I'm happy to be here. I'm on my phone and I'm using my other machine as a monitor. So if things look like crazy, that's what's going on. Sorry. But thank you everybody for all the support, and Native Roots Radio and Min 350 and Nancy and Robert and Audrey and Mary, like everybody here. It was I wasn't sure how it was going to go. Of course, I was positive. I was optimistically positive. And in the end, it turned out that I took the race. And so that's really exciting. And now the work really begins, right? And already I've had folks, from various positions in the city reaching out and wanting to get to know me better. So that's cool. I found out that our precinct, the ward I ran for has 2 precincts. One is out on the res. Our precinct pulled in, I think, 130 more voters or something like that with this, which is a lot for us. And that made the difference. That's our people got out to vote, and so all the people that were doing the native vote, pushing to draw everybody in. The letter writers, holy smokes, the people that were calling on the phones, like this was not just my win. This was everybody, that worked so hard to get me and the other candidates into the office. So I'm very grateful, and we're doing it. So yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're definitely doing it, and it's awesome. And I'm gonna jump off here, Mary. And if you want to hand it on to the next person, that'd be really cool. Or just start free flowing. I trust you. So I'm gonna take off, and then I'm gonna let Red Dawn get on here and talk to everybody. So, hi, Juoni, everybody.
All right, I'll hold down the fort. We talk about getting out the native vote, and I think I have heard just incredible statistics across the nation, and what a difference, the native vote has made. What did they say in Nevada and Arizona? Had it not been for the native vote, there's a good chance that Biden wouldn't have taken those states. And another statistic I heard is that 82% of it was Red Earth, the communities voted. Like that was their turnout, which is absolutely incredible. And if any of you have any of those statistics that you can share with us tonight, I think we'd all be interested in hearing about that. It's just been incredible across the way. What about North Dakota and South Dakota? They got out like nobody's business and made all of the difference in those communities. And I think America once again owes our Native communities a great big Wopala Tonka Chi Miigwech and every other way to say it, because I don't know that he could have really pulled those states without our vote. Is there anybody here on our panel that has some of those statistics, or if anybody is listening, if they want to send it to us so we can share that with everybody? I'm just dying to hear the details around that.
I think you're seeing up on the blurb there. Red Lake had 92.8%.
92. Woo! That's great.
Yeah, that was huge. And Red Lake has a real strong history, with voting, but this was phenomenal, the numbers. And I thought of the amount of work that came from a number of different groups that drove them down for early voting, and the challenges the members had coming down for early voting at the county building here in Beltrami. That was very, very difficult to understand. I know there were, that we still had that space where people were not going to, we're going to stare down our Anishinaabe people, but they prevailed. And I had first-time voters from Red Lake in my ward, and they were in their 50s and never have ever voted, for a regular election. And to me, that says a lot. So we've paved the way, Mary, you as well, so that Heather, all of us, so that we can open the doors for more to run. And that is my hope, and really hope to see that we can get a lot more people running in 2 years. We've got offices that'll be opening up in the city, and get on the committees now. I will be encouraging in stomping the pavement to get people out and sign up for committees that are Indigenous American people, Anishinaabe up this way in most cases. We have a number of tribes up here who live in the Bemidji area, but I want to encourage all of them to get involved and start learning the process. And you don't have to wait to be my age. You can do this at 30, at 20, the legal age, to get out and get out there. So, yeah, I'm really happy with Red Lake's numbers, and I don't know what Wyther's were, and I'm not going to put Alan on the spot. Because he probably doesn't have them either, because, that was the last thing I was worried about the last few days. I just needed to pull it around and see what I have to do to be able to mobilize people in the community, small businesses, the college, to accomplish and start reading policies. How do you tell Anishinaabe people to start reading policies? And I've already asked, and said, pull down a policy and start tearing it apart. What do we need to do, to make it a new policy? And of course, the strategic plan for Bemidji, law enforcement. We heard our president-elect talk about systematic oppression. So I need the Indian country to get in there and look at Bemidji's strategic plan. What can we do to help the city of Bemidji and our people so that we do not have policies that are going to hinder our walk in life?
That's awesome. So Red Dawn can't make it because her Wi-Fi is really bad and she's heading to Denver. So you're stuck with me. But what I would like to do is, we got another. Where did he go? Where did Dan go? Is he here?
He's been coming in and out. I think he's having some email, internet stuff going on. That guy, I don't know.
Well, hey, I just got these numbers from Robert Lilligren. There was 110,000 Native Americans voted in Michigan, and in Arizona, 160,000.
Wow.
So those numbers, those numbers are amazing, because you can see, like, if they're only up by 40,000, you just do the math. It's just amazing that how natives all across Turtle Island came out. And what I want to do next is I want to touch base with Heather, because we wanted to take a vacation and a break this week, but Heather wanted to keep going, and I think it was a good idea because we all want to decompress. So I want to put Heather on the spot here and have her speak her truth, because it's just amazing what the numbers are this year. And I think it's just the beginning of something that if we're collective and help each other, we're going to have a really, what I like to say, a native wave.
Yeah, you really put me on the spot, Robert. We were just having a conversation about if we were having this show or not. And he was like, well, I don't know, maybe people need to take a break or take a rest. And to me, I feel like we're all tired and we've all been through a lot. But I am just so grateful for all the work that everybody's done, whether it's been, my own campaign manager and my own campaign team, all the work. Nancy and her team just did so much that I didn't want to sit for too long without just truly saying thank you, and making sure that we take the time to decompress together, but also continue to plant the seeds for our next generations, and making sure that this cycle just continues. You know, there will be another election, there will be more opportunities, and we just want to see more of us rise up. And I thought we couldn't go, even if it's just an hour or a very short time that we could all spend together. I'm so proud of all of you. And it was really selfish, I guess, for me, because I wanted the opportunity to tell you all how much I appreciate you and how much I appreciate your work ethic and aligning, you know, across this country to make sure that our next generation can see what leaders look like. And I think that that was just a really important opportunity for us to bring to the table today. Robert said he didn't need much convincing, so it was literally like a 5-minute conversation. So I'm glad to see that everybody showed up and that we're all here in this space again, and that we all just continue to support each other in the work that we do, because I think it's true that each of us are here because we genuinely care about our communities, we care about our state, our region, and our nation, and our next generation. And so that work doesn't change. Win or lose, you know, that work does not change for all of us, and just making sure that we continue to collaborate and work in our communities together to make sure that we're working towards a better change. So that's why I really thought it was important for all of us to get together today.
Well, and I agree too. I always want to be careful because, you know, I have a million radio shows and I don't want to be a hindrance on people, you know, to come on all my different radio shows. So I really appreciate tonight. It always gets me going, you know, and it gets me going in a good way when we all get together here. So it's really fun. And I'm gonna hand it over to Amber, because Amber, I think some of these people you've never met before on the symposium, and it's just amazing the energy and what's going on here in Minnesota and all over Turtle Island, really.
Oh, definitely. I think you hit the nail on the head. You know, it's I'm very glad that we were able to all come together. And again, you've got people that were elected into seats, and you've got some that you know, are going to continue to look at where they were lacking or what happened. And you know, we're going to be here as that circle that you talked about to empower them to keep going. You know, again, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. I think even, you know, with President-elect is, you know, the victory is right now, but the hard work and rolling up your sleeves is just about to begin. And I'm very, very excited to have Native Americans at the table, you know, because now we can hold him accountable that, hey, we helped you get there. You know, now we need to have those seats at that table, and it's going to be respected. So definitely take a look at, you know, best practices. What can we do to, you know, encourage you or, you know, mentor people to just continue to get out there, you know, on a tribal level, a local level, a state level, and ultimately the federal level. And, you know, just keep going, because to me, like I said, being from Nevada, you don't see it as much. You know, you see it on the tribal level, you know, all these different elections, but, you know, in these other races, you don't see Native Americans. And so it's very, very exciting to hear about all the people that are involved in the different positions they're taking and just putting themselves out there, you know, outside of their comfort zone. So it's definitely exciting and empowering. And I love the energy that brings. And I think, you know, just even with the most recent election, it just, like I said, gave you that feeling that we can do anything once we get together and put our minds together and, you know, our words together and our power together, that good medicine, you know, we need to continue to spread it. So most definitely, I'm very excited.
Absolutely. And
about
one of
what's
the
to come.
things, yeah, I just feel like, you know, the vice president-elect and the president-elect mentioned Native Americans and in their speech. Yeah. And I mean, we're getting a bone here, but we normally don't get one. And so it's a really good place to start. And so I'm really excited about, you know, the future here. But the work is just beginning, as you said, Amber. Good call. And wait, let's state senator-elect. You have some numbers for us there.
Yeah, I was asking Emma to post this. Now this is a some information that came during the election time. So the numbers might be different, but at one time, 85,000 registered voters on Navajo Nation. Of those voters, 76,000 voted, and 89% turned out. And of the 76,000 voters, 74,000 voted for Biden, only 2,000 for Trump. And so at one time, Biden led Arizona by 40,000 votes. Now, if all of those natives had not voted, let's say 25,000, which would have been great, but 74,000 voted for Biden, and that's what really carried Arizona. So that's an incredible example of how much difference the native vote meant. And if I can go back and find the stats that I received for I think it was Standing Rock and some of the Dakota tribes, those were just as impressive. And I just wanted to point out another thing is that if you are interested in hearing what President-elect Biden and Kamala Harris have planned and are committed to for our tribal nations, I mean, first of all, on their website, they acknowledge and they have the land acknowledgement and that sort of thing. But, they recognize that there are 574 federally recognized Native tribes, and their plan will strengthen the nation-to-nation relationship. It'll provide reliable, affordable, quality health care and address the health disparities. It'll restore. So remember, he's promising to undo so much of the things that the Trump administration did. So he's promising to restore tribal lands and address climate change and make sure that we are safeguarding natural and cultural resources. Just think of Bears Ears, what happened there, such a tragedy. They recognize the violence against Native women and children and elderly. And one of his top 10, his first 10 things that he promises to do when he gets in office is to restore or reconnect VAWA, Violence Against Women Act. And we need to have that in order for our tribes to prosecute violence against women. And so they're going to invest in education and youth engagement, make sure that they're meeting the obligations to our Native veterans, and of course, make sure that our Native Americans can exercise their right to vote. And that means that they're not putting the polling places in the county building where the jail is and all of those things, and people are intimidated to go. Perhaps expanding polling places, I don't know, but it's just really, really exciting that they're going to reinstate the annual White House Tribal Nation Conference and appoint Native Americans to high-level government positions. I can tell you, well, it would be about 6 years from now, or in the past, when Obama was elected the second time, I got to go out to his inauguration. My sister was one of the, she worked in the Obama administration, and so we got to go to the inauguration, but it was just incredible. There were powwows, and there were gatherings, and there were dances, and there was one powwow that was just for the veterans. And if you could have seen all these men and women in uniform, it just took your breath away. And then there were these jingle dance women who were still in the military or veterans that came in and did their art. And I'm telling you, it was one of the most moving moments of my life and made me so proud to be of Native American heritage. And so I look and I think back on what we had there and how that is just going to be magnified under the right circumstances, and really proud that all of us are going to be a part of that as well. So I kind of got off on a tangent, but I think there's good things ahead for Native communities for sure.
I really, really agree. And I hope if you get an invite to the next one, you bring one of your favorite radio personalities along.
I'll bring you a shirt.
Good one. Good one. Hey, Audrey, do you mind introducing Dan? Because Dan's got some more work to do. And Audrey, do you mind speaking some truth here?
I will sure give a truth to Dan. No, I'm thrilled that Dan Bourdain made the primary. He's in a special election for at large. He likes to call it the junior mayor, and we are hoping that. And there's a side joke because I was trying to get on his PayPal to send money, and I texted him and said, "How do I get a pen pal?" And he said, "That's not not what I have. It's a PayPal, not pen pal. Those are when you're writing in jail." And I busted out laughing. I said, "Oh, the age coming." So Dan has done a phenomenal job. He is. Hit the wards, and he flyered before the primary, and he is up against a long-term opponent for the city. So we've got work ahead of us, and I believe that he is going to do it. I believe Dan is going to be our at-large, and we need him on the city council. I need to see him sworn in after February when they have the special election vote. So I'm hoping that I'm not alone without Dan on the city council. With that, Dan, you've got the floor.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bemidji, Minnesota has spoken up, ladies and gentlemen. It is amazing to see that. First of all, I got to thank Audrey Thayer. I remember when I was talking to Audrey, we were at this park and we were discussing this position that was opening up. It was the at-large position, and they were like, "Hurry up, go do it, go do it." So I was sitting back there. I was like, "Are we gonna make this happen? Are we gonna do it?" And so we went forward with it. We made it happen, and then we just started building a platform. We start connecting with people. I got to thank my biggest partner in this one is Renee Vanette, who sits on the Duluth City Council, the 4th district over there. She has been my go-to since day one. And like sometimes I had questions come up like, "Renee, hey, how do I go about this?" And I'll call Heather Keeler sometimes, like, "How are you doing this over here?" So it just all came together. The teamwork came together. Audrey, she did her part in bringing this together. So everybody, it's like a team effort once we talk about our Native communities, this and that. But I think the at-large position, we encompass a whole city of 15,000 plus residents. And for a first-time political campaign, we did a lot of amazing things. We did a lot of great things with the campaign. I wasn't too surprised of coming in the race. Everybody in the city that was talking said, "Hey, you have a good shot at this. You're going to do it, this and that." So we met one great candidate who come in 3rd place in this race. She had 1,300 votes. I had 17, almost 1,800, and the leader was 2,100. So the 3rd place lady, her name was Linda. She already endorsed myself. So that's not saying the work stops there. It's saying that, what can we do better this time around? So like I always say, the real work begins now, and we're going to make this push. We're going to make this platform. We're going to make it happen for Bemidji. And like, I don't know, I'm young still. I still consider myself young, 35 years old, and I'm bringing everybody's voice with me. All the things that I learned, everything that was built on my foundation, it's coming together. And I just want to express all of the thanks to Native Roots Radio, everybody that contributed to the campaign, even if it was $5, $10, $20, all of that was beneficial. And I used that every part of where I went to with the campaign. And it was a short campaign because July 31st, we made the announcement. And then after that, it was just hit and run, get out there, do this. You need to do that. And then everything just came together. The voting was November 3rd. The city spoke up, and we have a lot of non-Indigenous people in the city. And it was pretty surprising to see all that support. and all the emails that came after it. And it's like, wow, we are really doing something out here. And I'm not a person to take big credit myself, but yet the people that believe in me and people that believe in change are going to get the change. And I keep stressing that we're going to make a big difference here in the city, whether we win or lose, but we want to win. We're going to win. That's my biggest push is we're going to make this happen because, oh man, this would be big for the 3 surrounding reservations. Elect Audrey Thayer. I want to say that. So this would be good. This would be amazing. And I just can't wait till February 9th. So like I said, this is a lone race right now for the city of Bemidji. So I still have campaign donations on my website. It's elect Dan Jourdain on Facebook. If you guys want to swing some dollars or financial money my way, that'll be helpful. We still got 3 months to go. So any way you guys can help, we're going to get this, guys. Thank you guys for the help. And this is amazing, guys. It's awesome. I just appreciate everybody's support at this time. I got so many people to go through and thank, and we're going to hit the ground running come Monday, tomorrow, and it starts all over again. We got to have a new game plan, and we're going to get this, guys. We're going to get it.
So Thomas and I are both in quarantine until November 21st. So we'll do as much as we can. And I did get PayPal. I got the money through. So you got a donation from me today. So because I wasn't going to let that sit. But Dan, thank you for running. And it's if we get Dan Jourdain on and have 2 Indigenous American people, Anishinaabe, on the Bemidji City Council, one statement, and there was a gentleman many years back who was Native but not really connected to the reservations like Dan and I are. And so when I think about her when he ran, way back, I mean, this was some years ago. This is a big deal because we do, as Dan said, we have the connections with the reservation communities, and we're setting the example for many, many individuals that we can do this. And, it's, the first Anishinaabe woman sitting on the Bemidji City Council. I need Dan there with me for advice and leadership. He's our warrior, for us right now. And we got to have him move forward. So Dan, thank you for running, and there's private chat going on here, and I just start looking to my right, and I start laughing, at the humor, and I know that the public can't see that, but it's obscene. No, I'm joking. Anyway, thank you, Dan. I really mean that with all my heart, and we do need to get some money raised. Because I think that strategically you need to have about 3,000 or 4,000 there to get moving. So I know you're shooting for 3. I'd rather see you having 4. So that's just how I feel.
Cool.
Yeah.
Listen, what I want to do, starting with Liz and then go to Alan,
Mary,
is kind of wrap this up and give everyone a few minutes to speak their truth. And I really think this was a really, really good idea to check in. And thank you, Heather, for making that happen. And so I want to go to Liz right now and speak your truth and speak as long as you want.
All right, miigwech. It's been a crazy week. It's been a long week. And then the weekend was so beautiful. Like we just got outside and got a lot of work done in the yard, and it was just such a blessing to have this extra little added weekend here. We thought winter was here to stay, but poof, no, we get to do all the yard cleanup anyway. So I'm a little sleepy is what I'm trying to say. But I wanted to come on and I wanted to be here with you guys because it is about, having this team, having this group of Native people who are engaged in the system in this way, and communicating, even like Dan was saying, asking, well, how do I do this and what do I do next? It's really important that we continue to communicate and to support and encourage each other, because it's going to be it's going to be great. We're going to do good things, but it's not going to be easy, I don't think. Here in Cloquet, there's only been one other Fond du Lac who's been on the city council over, the whole time that they've had a city council. And so, like I said, people are already reaching out to me. They're trying to figure out how they're going to work with me. They don't really, know about how I function. And of course, the tribal people do, or the people that have been in my classroom know. But, so we're going to have to figure that out. I'm not a career politician, and I'm not going to operate in the same way that the status quo has been. And that's a good thing. Like somebody was talking about, ready for change. That the change is here, and we got to ride this wave, this native wave. I like that, Robert. And we got to bring other people on board and encourage others to step up, because this is our territory. No matter who is in a government body, or who is an elected official, or who is calling the shots wherever, this is our territory. And so I know my ancestors, they vowed to take care of it. I know that that this has been a part of our legacy since before we ever arrived. So we're stepping up to the plate, and I'm so grateful that I'm with this team right now. So miigwech bizendawiyeg, thank you for listening.
The native wave shirts are coming out in a couple weeks. I got to figure out the logo. So I want to go to Alan, and Alan, I say this a lot, but I want to say this again. I'm going to be running for legislator of Ho-Chunk. And one of the things that I've really, really gotten from you is the thing that rings in my head, and I think in your other work too, that you do this, is that you meet people where they're at. And this is really something that really resonated with me during our time, during your campaign.
You're absolutely right, Robert. And I wish you the best of luck in your run for the Ho-Chunk legislature. And I can tell you, just meeting people where they're at, you guys got a lot of seasoned campaigners now on this show. You guys got a lot of experience, and that's really important. And you guys have learned what works and what doesn't work, and you just refine it, and you get better, and you get better as you go, right? Nobody's perfect, but you'll learn what works and what doesn't. And now, just a little fair warning now for the ones that did prevail and that are heading into be public officials. It's different when you get in there, and the expectations are different. What may have worked on the campaign trail, it may not necessarily work while you're in a public official. There certainly are different expectations. That's a learning curve that I had to learn early on in my career. And so you guys are going to do fantastic. I was just thinking, listening to you guys talk, or gals talk, was I haven't seen this before. I haven't seen the this organizing, this community come before, trying to get natives into office in such a concerted effort. I know it's happened before, but just the way you guys are doing it in a good way, building a community around it, and letting those on sitting at home watching be part of that process. Certainly, that's an organic thing, and it's really special. I can tell you, it really is special. And just for me personally, my family and I, we're happy it's over. I'll just tell you, we just want to spend time together. We want to continue to serve the people of White Earth Nation. I have a couple years left on my term here, before I decide what I'm gonna do next in my career. We just want to be together. That's it. We want to be together. But for those that are like Audrey, you're going to be on the council there. Hopefully, Dan. I think your mom is Linda. Is that your mom?
Yep, it is.
Okay, yeah, she's one of my main supporters. I didn't know that until the other day. Okay, well, anyways, Mary and Liz and Heather and everyone, you have an ally. All right. We're all friends, we're all allies, and we need to just communicate. If there's something that you need, just let's talk. Let's stay in touch. Certainly, I will be watching these weekly broadcasts because they're really important for building community. And but you guys were talking about numbers. I think Audrey wanted to know the numbers for White Earth. So Red Lake, I think it was 2,200 voters that showed up. I estimate up to, because White Earth is difficult. We're open reservation, checkerboard reservation, but I estimate up to 1,500 Native Americans showed up from White Earth Reservation, and I can say that because when you look at the precinct comparison of 2016 to 2020, about 2,200 to 2,500 Democrats went to the Republican side in Senate District 2. There's a huge jump, a huge shift. And this is what's been happening. It happened in Rita's race over there in Senate District 5. It's happening all across rural Minnesota. That's why we can't win in rural races. It's very difficult. There's this big rural-urban divide, something we got to work on. And hopefully Mary can let the Senate caucus know that for us way out here in northern Minnesota. But about 2,200, and where we made up those numbers were in Red Lake and White Earth. And so that's how we almost achieved the exact same number. So about 3,500 Native Americans showed up in this election. And so I really don't think there's going to be many more swing voters. I don't think that's a huge lesson that I've learned. There's the swing vote. It doesn't really exist anymore. And so what that tells us is we just got to go after the DFL votes, the progressive votes, and we got to find those voters that haven't voted yet, so we can continue to try to flip the legislature blue. So thanks for having us on, Robert. As always, it's a pleasure. Miigwech.
Alan, thank you so much for your comments for White Earth, and I hope now you'll drop a basket of fruit off at Thanksgiving, maybe for your neighbor next door. Because we were still dealing with our tribal politics, so maybe just stop and say hi, and let's start getting that bridge built. So when I'm over there, I can stop by your place too.
You can come by anytime. I'll be happy to drop off a fruit basket for Thanksgiving.
Well,
just to get, you remember this, Robert, way in the beginning, because Alan and I came from different political tribal parties from the reservation, and we've bonded from this show.
Wow, that's awesome.
So now I want to, us to keep that moving, that momentum moving on our reservation, so that we can get away from the negative politics, because it's not okay. It does not. It's lateral oppression, and I'm tired of it. We've got to move together, and that's so important. Alan, thank you so much.
Yeah, and Alan, you're always welcome on here. You don't have to. Your truth is your truth, and you're always welcome on Sunday night. And thank you so much for all the time that you spent on my radio shows and Sunday night. And we want to jump ahead, because I was going in order, but we want to jump ahead right now. And I want to give Heather Keeler her last say here before she has to go.
Thank you. I promised my son, because it's the first Sunday outside of campaigning, that we would watch a movie tonight. So I'm trying to stick to that family obligation and making sure that I have family time. But I just want to thank everybody, like I've said in the past. But also, I want to do a little bit of a plug, because I think that as leaders, we all kind of created this platform while we were campaigning. People in our community were looking at us, were watching us, were hearing us, and it was really this opportunity to provide an example of the change that we want to see, not just in a win or loss at a legislative or city council or tribal council level. And so I really, really care about sharing the importance of how important it is for representation. And so tomorrow, actually, Robert is helping me co-host with some of our universities and Indian education programs here a lunch and learn from noon until 1 tomorrow about why representation matters, specifically in education, whether that means that we have more teachers who look like us, or that our true history is shared within our curriculum. And so that's going to be tomorrow. It's on my page. I know Robert's shared it on Native Roots Radio. And so if anybody's free or want to share it, go ahead and do that. We are offering CEUs to North Dakota and Minnesota teachers. All that information is on the page, but it's just an example that like we're so much more than just names on signs. See my sign? We're so much more than just that. We do things in our community, and so I couldn't pass up the opportunity to plug the event that we have tomorrow. But thank you all for everything. Pilame, as always, stay true to who you are. Stay true to that community, and our next generation is really, really watching all of you. Real quick, funny story. Dan called me once, and he was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, Dan, I don't know what I'm doing either. I'm a first-time candidate. Like, I mean, I'll tell you what I'm doing, but I have no idea. So, I mean, it's true that like we're in this together, and we continue to just walk through, you know, and learn together as well. So thank you all. And have a great
for
night.
all you do, Heather. Thank you so much for being on. And as always, and we know families first, and so we appreciate you spending some time with us tonight. Okay, so I had a way to do this, and then Heather kind of threw me off because she had to go. So who am I at right now? Am I with Dana? Am I with you? Are you going to speak your truth right now?
I can. I'm not quite sure what order you were going in.
Go ahead. I'm just kidding around. Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, Robert, for having me on here throughout the campaign season. I know I was kind of one of the last candidates you found out about, but I've appreciated every invitation and just to get to speak and reach new people. I thanked a lot of people throughout my campaign who were helping me phone bank and get out the vote with Somali voters and really just keep me focused and driven. But some people I really would like to thank are the students in my Ojibwe class. I've been taking Ojibwe for about 2 years, and through all the stress of campaigning, it was really a good way to just smile and relax for 2 hours once a week. And so that has been a great help. And I know some of them are watching this show tonight as well. We're going to keep working hard, like I said earlier. And Audrey, if you need help at all on that policy, I'm kind of a policy nerd and love to read it. For Roseville, I read everything that I could, every manual, every informational packet, and I'm really all about that. And we do need to continue supporting each other. So I'm going to keep trying to organize our neighborhoods. And Roseville had a really big engagement problem. So I'm going to keep trying to bring in new voices. We had a racism problem here with killing raccoons near Black Lives Matter signs, and I was lucky enough to help organize the Roseville Rejects Racism rally. And so we're going to keep trying to push on these fronts and make sure that Roseville is inclusive, that we're engaged, and that we're equitable. The fight doesn't stop today. But now that I'm not campaigning, it's nice to have a little bit of time as well to shift my attention up towards Clearbrook, Minnesota, the White Earth Reservation where my mom lives in Bagley, and work towards stopping Line 3. Thank you so much again for having me.
And again, you're always welcome to be on too. This has just been an exciting process. The show has really morphed into a lot of different things, and we're going to be heading back to more educational stuff after the election, like treaties. And one of the shows we're going to do too is coming up is we did one where a lot of people watched was the Women of Wounded Knee. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to do a couple of women from Wounded Knee that were at the occupation want their children on, and talk about what they're doing, for their people too, the next generation. So that's going to be exciting thing coming up soon, maybe next week or the week after. I think Dan, do you mind, or did Dan already speak? I'm like all thrown off here. Dan and then Audrey, and I should have took a week off. I'm a little off here. No.
That's fine. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's again. Once we stay involved with our local politics and county politics and state politics, it helps us make better decisions on what we need to do in the communities, especially. Seeing all of the things happening. That's one of my reasons why stepping into this platform was seeing all the decisions that were being made on a city council level and a county level, and everything that was going on around us was hey, why aren't we at the table anymore? Why aren't our voice being heard anymore? So a lot of the big things that are going around this area with the Line 3 project being approved. And, recently there was a big protest in Minneapolis, just watching those things unfold and hearing some I think it was Unicorn Riot talking about the state police tactics that they're practicing is supposed to be for the upcoming Line 3 project. So being involved with those things, understanding those types of politics, this is what's going to happen into our communities, especially in the deep north up here. We have to stay involved. We have to be on our toes. And when big decisions happen like that, that's when we have to stand up for one another and, make decisions on a city council level, on a county level, wherever we can be involved and make sure that our voices are being heard at the same time. So when it comes down to winning a campaign race, that's not the real work. The real work is once you're seated and making decisions for everybody. And I think that's the biggest part of being involved with the city council myself is I want everybody to be involved in the decision making. I want everybody to have a voice. I want to, change the dynamics of the community, make it a little better for everybody, not just myself and everybody else that's with me, but we want to be inclusive. We want to build these bridges. We want to show every other community that's around us that we can be a model city for anybody else, and especially our future generations that are coming up and watching us and watching every move that we make in our community. It's just it's empowering to them to say, you know what, we can do that too. We have to stay involved. We have to support one another like these guys are doing, and I think that's where everything begins is the younger generation. We need to show them. We need to be a model for them. We need to continue fighting out there and doing our work and showing support for one another and keep this momentum going because it's been inspirational watching everybody from the east part of Minnesota to the south and Thompson down there and then all the way to west and Moorhead, watching all of this happening this year. It's an eye opener, and it's just like, wow, we can make changes anywhere. We just have to, believe in ourselves and believe in our support system and just keep supporting. It's all about support. So thanks everybody, especially that supported myself. Even at times when I was running, I was my biggest critic, not supporting myself. But you have to continue doing what you're doing in the community. I can't thank Christian and Joseph Oppegard. Those guys were the people that started off in Bemidji. So I want to thank those guys too. Mary, thank you, Mary. I'm just seeing a notification come through my phone there. Thank you guys for all of that. But it's like I said, it's all about support and trusting one another and believing. And believing is probably the biggest one, is saying, you know what, this person is doing it for all the right reasons. So let's keep that momentum going. I'm the only guy running out here, and it's kind of funny to think, but I guess the spotlight is on this position over here now. February 9th, 2021. I believe Bemidji is going to be in a good race with someone who is connected deeply with their heart and their community and their constituents, their people, and that's myself. So I think we're in good hands, guys, and I appreciate every one of yous, all of the support. I appreciate it, guys.
Well, no problem. It's exciting. I just want to give a quick shout out to Red Dawn, who won her South Dakota State Senator. She wasn't able to come on tonight because of poor Wi-Fi, but I want to give her a shout out, a big shout out. She's on this show a lot. I want to go Audrey, Amber, and Mary. And before I do, I just want to say a quick thing about Line 3. And I have Winona LeDuc's on my radio show every week, along with Mary Kunish and Emma, who's in the background there. She does the news. I just want to say that I was talking to her about it, and I said, we all learned how to camp and to come up in a good way. And, up there is a lot closer than North Dakota Standing Rock. And she said, well, there's hotel rooms up there. So we got to remember that, because there's a lot of people that are coming up there. There's thousands of people from all over the United States coming up there ready to start digging up pipelines. So we need to resist. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's working on this up there, that we got your back here. And I can pick up my computer and go anywhere in broadcast. I just want to let everybody know that. So it's getting to be showtime. So I want to go to Audrey and have her speak her truth. And really, Audrey, thank you so much for being on, and also all the swag that you've given me. And then the heart attack that I've gotten because you were ahead, you were behind, then you lost, and then you won. So I'm just glad you're here, and speak your truth, Audrey.
Get myself off of mute. The miigwech. So I just, again, I want to thank everybody. And, this group was really important to hang at the end of a week, or the start of a week. Because it was very challenging to be out there, and it's just going to start beginning. And Dan has basically said a lot of how I'm feeling, and we are serving not only Indian people but non-natives, and I would like to make sure that I do the job so well that it changes the perceptions of those who do not know, who do not understand, and have perceptions about our Anishinaabe people. And we will be heading into the Line 3 challenges up here. And it's going to take a lot of work just to educate people and keep them on without having to pit each other against each other on issues. So, of essence, but this is the time for Bemidji, which has never changed after 30 some years, has turtled along with the same old policies, the same old mannerisms, systematic oppression, up and down in many of the programs, and we are making that change. And I'm excited, looking forward to the hard work, looking forward to visiting and knowing more people, and engaging the importance of the 3 reservations that encircle Bemidji, which has not been recognized over these years. That is a very difficult time. And I know that, my opponent didn't concede, and I know that there's still some, anytime people are, some people who lose, they don't look for the high road, the positives. So I'm going to look for every high road and positive there is, even with people who don't necessarily agree with me. I will do what it takes to agree to disagree, but I will serve the city. I will serve Bemidji, and I'll be serving, most importantly, the Anishinaabe people, that we do represent strength. And we are following our 7th generation teachings, and and concerned about the 8th fire, that some say is lit, others saying it's almost. So that's where I'm coming from. So meet you, miigwech, all of you. It's been amazing, amazing, amazing time. And Mary, thank you for everything. She's going to be my pen pal. Thanks,
Yeah.
Dan. You started that whole thing.
Inside jokes don't make good radio. I just want to give
Yeah.
Especially when you're listening to this. But I want to go to one of the originals here that I had an opportunity to meet face to face during the presidential forum down in Iowa, the Frank Lemire. And Amber, it's just been, I watch you on Facebook and all the great things that you're doing for your people as chairperson. And I just love that you can stop by every once in a while and bring your truth and talk about how you're working for your people. And so I would like to have you say your last words, please.
Yeah, and so they could actually literally be my last words here. But, as I talked about, we have tribal elections coming up on the 17th, and I did throw my name in the hat once again. I have been serving on my council since 2010 in just about every role that's available. But, I've been the chairman of Walker River since 2016, and again, I'm trying for a 4-year term, which is going to be huge for our reservation because we finally had a secretarial election to change it from a 1-year term to a 4-year term for continuity and sustainability and, ultimately the future for our reservation. And so, I'm excited for the election to come up. Either way, I know what I've done while I've been in there with amazing council members and amazing community people and just the support system that I have. So again, I'm just so honored and blessed to be amongst you. I have learned so much just from sitting amongst you, talking with you, having meaningful dialogue with you, and felt like I was included. I'm a old lady from the sticks way out here in rural Nevada, but to be invited and have a seat at the table, I think again is just absolutely huge. And to be honored with everybody else that sits here week after week, with insights and feedback is just tremendous. So, again, you are all inspirations to people that are watching and listening all the time. You're paving the way for the next 7 generations, and you're encouraging and empowering our Native people to get out there, like I said, outside of their comfort zones and run for these different positions, whether it be school boards or, again, seats where they can really make a change. And you never know who you're inspiring. So again, as Native people, we're resilient. And we're still here, and we're going to continue to be here and be at the table. And I'm just, again, so excited for that opportunity going forward. And, I guess the final thing that I'll leave you with is that we never meet people by chance. Everything happens for a reason, and I truly believe that. So, again, good luck to everybody that's running. Fabulous job to everybody who's ran and taken that chance. And, again, the work is really cut out for those who have been elected now, and hold true to your word, and remember where you came from and who you're there to serve. So, again, Pijat you for the opportunity. Just very, very honored and blessed to sit amongst you.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure you're going to win the next election. Your people know how hard you work for them. So I hope everything's going to be okay. So
Thank you.
I'm sure it is, but I just want to say thank you again, Peeny Gigi, for being on, and you're one of the originals, so you always got a place in the circle. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I'd like to end it with House Representative Mary Kunish, who's now state senator elect and ready.
Thanks, Robert, and thanks everyone again for being here. And just as Amber said, I also feel like when people come into our lives, it's for a reason, and I think we all have a reason to be here and a reason to make a difference for our communities and our state. When I was elected in 2016, I can tell you I was so nervous. I had no idea how it was going to work and what I was going to do and where I'm supposed to be in the Capitol and how do I even do a bill or any of that stuff. But we figure it out, and we figure it out because it's so important. And fortunately, most of us will have people that will help us figure it out as well. And I think we can count on each other if there is a need. But yes, I will be moving over to the Senate come January. I am the first woman of Native descent to be in the Senate in Minnesota, which I find to be just a sorry fact to be. There's only been 2 men before me, and I'm thinking Alan will join me in 2 years. But I would like to just send out an invitation to you and anybody who is listening to come and visit me at the Capitol, or if you're going to be in the Twin Cities and you've never been to the Capitol, or you haven't been there for a long time, please contact me and let me know. And I'd be happy to show you around. I'd be happy to show you some of the spaces that the public doesn't always get to go into. And if you have questions about procedures and policies, please let me know as well, because I learn by people asking me questions. When you ask me a question and I don't know, I'm going to go find out. And that really helps me. And I would say, I would say 98% of the legislation that I've passed in the last 2 years, I've passed over a dozen really good pieces of legislation and bills. It's because people brought them to me and said, here's a problem. This is a problem. We need to fix this. Why is this happening? This shouldn't be happening. And we've been able to craft really good legislation to correct or to change things. And that comes from the people. So when we talk about grassroots legislation, that's my whole gig right there. So whether you're in Greater Minnesota on the reservation or here, wherever you are, if you know something that needs to be fixed, bring it to me. And if I can't help you fix it, I will find somebody to help fix it. And the more that you come to the Capitol, and if you come in and sit in on committee meetings, or you can go and watch it online now, most of them are Zoom meetings, you get to understand the process. And so I just want to say, don't be afraid, don't be intimidated, don't be afraid to ask questions or to bring suggestions to us at the legislature. And it doesn't just have to be me. Find your legislator and tell them why this is so important to your communities and why he or she needs to do something about this, and don't let up on that. And so with that, I just again want to say Wopalatanka and Chimigwich to all of you who ran across the nation and made a difference. I think our next 4 years are going to be incredible, and I can't wait to do this with all of you as well. So have a really great evening and get ready for winter, I guess.
Wow, yeah, Peeny Gigi, thank you so much, Mary. And what I want to give everyone a shout out here, but what I want to do is end the show like I end my radio shows, and I need to give a call out to everyone. You need to join a group. You need to resist, divest, run for office. You've been listening to the We're Still Here Symposium from Native Roots Radio Network. Good night, everyone, and Peeny Gigi for everyone for being on.
We are Alusa Nation.
Welcome to the Sunday Symposium. We're Still Here, presented by Native Roots Radio Network. This is a Native conversation of where we've been and where we're going.